Hey, welcome back to Gold and Blue today, everybody. If you are a college football fan, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. That is all we do here every single day. And don't forget to send gear to represent your team and yourself to be a part of my background forever. All you have to do is send your gear to P.O. Box 360, Liberty, South Carolina 29657. Am I reading this correctly? Could the Pac-12 actually be one of the best conferences in the nation this year? Guys, it's looking like that could happen. I'm not saying that's the case, it's the truth or facts or anything like that, but from the start of the 2022 college football season, that might be the case. And I know the biggest argument is, well, the best team in the Pac-12, Utah, they went on the road and got beat by Florida. Yeah, I understand that, but Utah might not actually be the best team in the Pac-12 this year. And I called that upset because it was the first game of the year. The crowd was going to be hyped up. That's a tough road environment. That's a long road trip for Utah. And I know they use planes and all that stuff, but that still makes a difference. So honestly, that's not really a fair comparison. And this is actually reflected in the new AP Top 25. The Pac-12 has more teams than usual represented in the AP Top 25. So what I want to do is actually look at the AP Top 25, the teams from each conferences, see which ones belong and which ones do not, and then determine if the Pac-12 could indeed be one of the best conferences this year. First up, the SEC. Of course, they always have the most teams in the AP Top 25. They have 8 right now. But do all 8 of those deserve to be in the AP Top 25? Well, let's go through them real quick. Georgia, Alabama, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tennessee, Ole Miss. No problem whatsoever. Those 6 teams belong in the AP Top 25. I have no issues with those 6 teams. But Florida and Texas A&M, I'm sorry. Florida is a fraud, and I know, I just talked about it. They beat a top 10 Utah at home. That was a good win for Florida, but then they got their doors blown off at home by Kentucky. Now they just barely beat USF. Florida is a fraud. They will not finish in the AP Top 25, and they don't deserve to be in the AP Top 25 even right now. The other team, Texas A&M, you lost to Appalachian State at home. And yes, you beat Miami at home, but if you look at the statistics, Miami dominated that game. The problem is, Miami must be allergic to big-time games because they missed tackles at inopportune times. That muff punt led directly to a touchdown, mistake after mistake after mistake. But statistically, and go back and look at them, Miami dominated that game. But Texas A&M did come out with the win, but that was a very, very sloppy game. No, Texas A&M should not be ranked. Next up, the ACC. Clemson, NC State, Wake Forest, and even Pitt. I'm okay with those 4 teams being in the AP Top 25. But Miami? No. You went on the road and you pulled a doofus move, pulling a loss out of the jaws of victory. You dominated the game statistically against Texas A&M, but you kept shooting yourselves in the foot. Very sloppy game on both sides of the ball. For both teams, actually. It's just that Texas A&M made less mistakes. I don't think that Miami deserves to be in the AP Top 25 as of right now. And I was high on Miami before this Texas A&M game. This was a golden opportunity for Miami, and they screwed it up. Honestly, if they would have went on the road and beaten Texas A&M, Miami had a legitimate shot of going undefeated. If you look at their schedule, really the only true test after that was a road trip to Clemson, and we're seeing that Clemson is down. But no, you screwed it up. There goes the undefeated season, and you lose to a mediocre Texas A&M. But even though I think that Miami doesn't deserve to be ranked, I do think that Florida State needs to be ranked. So I think the ACC should have 5 teams in the AP Top 25, but instead of Miami, insert Florida State. All right, let's go to the Big 12. They have 4 teams in the AP Top 25. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Baylor, and Texas. Really, I don't have any issues with those 4 teams. Texas, I mean, a 1-point loss to Alabama, that's a good game for them. But then they come back and way too close of a game against UTSA. UTSA actually had a real chance of winning that game. However, all things in context, I'm okay with Texas being ranked. And honestly, I think there needs to be one more Big 12 team ranked. And this is going to blow your mind. I think Kansas needs to be ranked. A road win against West Virginia and a road win against Houston. They're undefeated. I'm telling you, that offense looks magnificent. Kansas deserves to be ranked. Tied with the Big 12, 4 teams. The Pac-12, that's right, they have 4 teams ranked right now. USC, Utah, Oregon, and Washington. I'm okay with these 4 teams being ranked. I do think that Oregon is a little overranked in the new AP Top 25, but I'm okay with them being ranked. But there's 2 teams that are not ranked that I'm like, why are they not ranked? What do they have to do to prove themselves? I'm talking about Washington State and Oregon State. Washington State, undefeated. They went on the road last week and beat number 19 Wisconsin. That's a great road win. Oregon State, they beat Boise State at home, and then they went on the road and beat a good Fresno State. I think Oregon State deserves to be ranked as well. So the Pac-12 could actually have 6 teams ranked in the AP Top 25. There for a while, I was actually high on UCLA. Yes, I have them in my top 25, but I'm okay with UCLA not being ranked. That was way too close of a game against South Alabama. But Washington State and Oregon State, those 2 teams should be ranked. And finally, the conference with the least amount of teams ranked, the Big Ten. Yeah, the Big Ten, and it's because of the Big Ten West. The Big Ten West sucks. Wisconsin lost to Washington State. They were ranked. Washington State beat them on the road. Why is Washington State not ranked? I have no idea. But the 3 teams that are ranked for the Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. Number 3, number 4, and number 14. So 3 teams out of the Big Ten East, and they're all top 15 teams. 2 of them top 5 teams. So you talk about top heavy, the Big Ten is extremely top heavy this year. And Michigan State was ranked, but they went on the road and lost to Washington, and I knew that was going to happen. Washington is a much improved team, and I told y'all Michigan State was going to take a step back this year, and that's exactly what's happening so far, because last year they had no defense. This year they still have no defense, but the biggest difference is they don't have their running game, especially their star running back, Kenneth Walker. And I knew that was going to hurt Michigan State. But who knows? Maybe they could finish as a top 25 team. I don't know. It's just my opinion that they won't. So the Big Ten, very, very top heavy. That Big Ten West is a mess. Northwestern sucks. Nebraska sucks. Wisconsin not living up to expectations. Iowa sucks. It's a miracle for them to score a touchdown in a game. Their offense is horrible, non-existent. Minnesota might be the best team in the Big Ten West. Illinois is okay, but they lost to Indiana. And then there's Purdue. They lost to Penn State at home, and then they went on the road and lost to Syracuse. So I think Purdue's going to have a down year. So the Big Ten West is most definitely letting down the Big Ten. It is all up to Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State to carry on the Big Ten banner. Big Ten, the worst conference in the nation this year. It's possible, but still they're going to have 3 elite teams. But the problem is, those 3 teams might beat up on one another and keep the Big Ten out of the playoffs. That's something to keep your eye on. So for the Pac-12, yes, Utah picked up an early loss to Florida. That wasn't great for the Pac-12, but trust me, they have plenty of teams. And I know, Oregon got absolutely blasted by Georgia. But Oregon is far from being the best team in the Pac-12. The only thing that the Pac-12 has to worry about is Utah and Oregon. They both could play spoiler for the Pac-12 as far as keeping the Pac-12 out of the playoffs, because I think USC and Washington, those 2 teams have a real possibility of having an undefeated or a 1-loss season and winning the Pac-12. And then you have to worry about Washington State and Oregon State. I think those 2 teams are top 25 teams. Those 2 teams also could play spoiler. So it might actually hurt the Pac-12 that they have so many good teams this year. Once again, the Pac-12 could cannibalize itself and keep the Pac-12 as a whole from getting into the playoffs. Having said that, I do indeed think that the Pac-12 is one of the best conferences in the nation this year. And notice, I didn't say the best. I still think that's the SEC. But the Pac-12 could be number 2 or number 3 this year. Y'all let me know in the comments section. Do you think the Pac-12 does get out of the basement this year to become maybe the 2nd best or the 3rd best conference in the nation this year?
We have the Notre Dame pennant from Greg, the Texas Tech round sign from Sam, the LSU mini helmet from Shane M 1980. I don't know who sent in the Wisconsin t-shirt. The Glenville State helmet is from Matthew. The Air Force pennant is from Kobe. The RG3 newspaper clipping was from Marshall. The Tennessee and the broken Georgia bottle are from Jim. The Florida State hat is from FSU 45, aka Scott. The Husker pennant is from Husker Nation. The Syracuse mini helmet is from Aaron Foss. The Florida State mini helmet is from Cam, aka CT on YouTube. Right now I have no idea who sent the TCU flag. I don't know who sent the Louisiana pennant. The Arizona State terrible towel and the Stanford flag are from Matt R. The Arkansas mini helmet is from Tim W. The Utah State mini helmet is from Lee B. The Air Force mini helmet is from Michael V. The Arizona State mini helmet is from a different Matt R. The Oklahoma State mini helmet is from Cowpoke Matt. The Louisville poster is from Clint, aka Card Guy on YouTube. The Miami Hurricanes mini helmet is from Alex. The Marshall mini helmet is from David C. The Flying WV sign is from Chris C. The West Virginia painting is from BVD. The Alabama mini helmet is from Jeff G. The Virginia Tech mini helmet is from Tom H. The Kansas hat and the Kansas mini helmet are from Matt D. That's all I got for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already.
and I'll see you on my next show.